Hello, boys and girls. Welcome back from break. I am hoping that you had a nice, relaxing week and you've been catching up on the work that I assigned you before the break. I hope that you had a good Easter or a good Passover or whatever it is that you celebrated. And now we're getting back down to it. First off, Schoology. Um, I was granted Schoology access as of this morning. So I find that Google Classroom is a lot more uh, user friendly and it's less glitchy and it doesn't, cut out like Schoology a lot of the time. Sometimes it'll just like go down for a couple hours. I don't find that the speed of the videos are great on Schoology, so I'd prefer not to use it. I think I'm going to keep things on Google Classroom. However, some of you are still having a lot of trouble with your device and getting onto Google Classroom. It's just a handful of you, like 5 or 6 of you. So what I'll probably do is individually assign some students assignments through Schoology because they're just not getting into the Google Classroom. If that does not apply to you, if you've been fine with the Google Classroom, then stay here. Doesn't matter. Ignore whatever I'm even talking about. Are your grades going to be going up on Schoology? Short answer is not unless the district asks me to do that. And the reason is I would have to do about 15 weeks worth of data entry in order to do that for 190 students. And as long as it's not required of me, then I'm not going to be doing that as of right now. But if any of you are really worried about stuff that you're missing, again, you can email me and you can talk to me about that, and I can go over some of that stuff with you over email. But the rest of you, most of you are probably fine. And again, like if you maybe weren't doing so hot and you want to do some makeup work, another thing that you can approach me privately about, and that's totally fine. So let's get to this week's subject, which is autotrophs and heterotrophs. So let's shrink me for a second and put you on the page where, okay, so this is my draft of an assignment that I have not put up yet, but it will be up for you by the time you see this video, okay? There are a few steps, right, that we're gonna go through. Step 1 is you're watching the video that you're listening to right now, so great, you already did that. Well, you're in the process of doing that. Step 2, okay, is you're going to go to an Amoeba Sisters video on YouTube titled Autrophs and Heterotrophs, okay? Some people also say autotrophs and heterotrophs. Both enunciations are technically correct, so don't worry about it. So that's this video here. There we go. And Amoeba Sisters it's a public channel, so if you cannot click on the link below under the assignment, it doesn't work, then you can go to youtube.com and put this in the search bar. Make sure it's the Amoeba Sisters with this little lingo down here, or logo, sorry. Now, it's a 6-minute 22-second video. So what I would like you to do is watch it twice. The first time, you're just gonna watch it. Just sit, watch it, take in the information that it's showing you. It's gonna give you a lot of information. Some of it's really interesting. Some of it maybe you don't think is so interesting, but that's why I want you to watch it twice, because if you sort of zone out a little bit, then you'll get it again. Now, the second time that you watch it, I want you to go back to the questions here, okay? Step 3 and 4 are interchangeable, all right? Because what you're gonna do is, it says here, the second time you watch, you should look over the questions 1 through 5 and 8 through 14 and see what you need to look out for in the video, okay? So how you're going to do this assignment is you're going to copy all these questions and then paste it into a Google Doc, okay? Just like we did before, except now it's all right here. You don't have to click on something separate to get to the questions that I have for you, okay? If that makes sense. Now, the first 5 questions are vocab, okay? Define the following vocab in your own words, all right? Pretty easy stuff. Then questions, let's see, 8 through 14, again, are from the Amoeba Sisters video. However, questions 6, 7, and 15, okay, you will find the most help by going to the CK12 link. So there's another link that you have, and it'll bring you here. It's called Flow of Energy in Ecosystems. Now this is just a page of text, okay? So after you have watched the video and you kind of understand what an autotroph and a heterotroph is, this is sort of an introduction page to some other stuff that you need to be aware of. So what you want to concentrate on is the difference between a food web and a food chain. So you're going to go down to like the bottom part of this page, food web and food chain, okay? So, and you kind of want to familiarize yourself with these things. So let's look at this. Let's look at what a food web is, okay? And it's just showing you that there's a bottom part of this web and how the energy flows up. So here's some phytoplankton, and they get eaten by some stuff, and then those get eaten by some bigger stuff, and then those fish and things get eaten by some birds, and those birds might get eaten by a fox, and it's showing you the flow of energy and then how that energy can go in other directions, okay? And that energy might go back down and around, because when things decompose, they become part of the food web again, okay? The nutrients from things that are dead or consumed, all right, goes back into the system, right? So we're thinking about, how does energy start, right? So energy starts from the sun and goes into things that grow and make their own food. And then it goes into other organisms that need to eat those primary organisms in order to survive. And it's just one big giant web of energy, okay? A simplified version of this is a food chain. So all it starts with is this tiny organism that's a producer, okay? The thing that produces energy. And then we have how it flows through the system, okay? So just the food chain is a very simplified one-note version of your food web, all right? So you wanna take a look at these 2 things here and tell me the difference between those. And you should, if you want, okay, I'm not making it mandatory, but it'd be good if you take notes so that you understand these things, because the concepts from this week, autotrophs, heterotrophs, and food webs and food chains, these are all going to be built on for next week, okay? Some of you are still not totally caught up with the assignments that I've already given you, so this is, again, still a little bit of a light week. This is, and there's 15 questions, okay, and a lot of it's vocab, so it's I have not decided if I'm going to add another thing before the end of the week yet. Just keep an eye out in case. I'm going to see kind of how you guys do and how many assignments are submitted before I decide if I'm going to put another one up before the end of the week. In any case, this page here, the flow of energy in ecosystems, we're going to use this again in the next assignment, and then there's going to be another Amoeba Sisters video. So this is not just a one-off thing for us to only be studying one time. This is a concept that we're going to keep building on, but right now I just want you to be familiar with what is a producer, what is a consumer, and what is it mean for an organism to make its own food from the environment or need food from something else in the environment because it cannot make its own food. Okay, so again, if you have questions, of course, I am here all week, and I'm gonna be correcting papers and stuff, mostly during school hours. And me and maybe hope that you have a wonderful day. Say bye. Say bye. See, maybe is a consumer. She consumes lots of stuff. So that's your first hint. She's a heterotroph, right? All right. See you later.